wonderful start or end to their Tuesday, depending upon where you're at. Um, let's just jump right into it. We can see here that here we go. Hang on. I was trying to turn the volume down in my headphones. Super loud. Okay, so we can see that overnight inventory is pretty much 100% net short, right? Where is my pen? There we go. So here's the settle from yesterday, right? Pretty much everything is 100% net short down. As of right now, right, here's the low from yesterday. We are possibly opening up on a gap to the low side, and we know gap rules will apply. And basically the key thing here is to look to see if we get continuation. I'm kind of leaning towards, maybe off of the open, if we get a push down that doesn't break this low here, then that will be a buying opportunity to look to trade back into yesterday's range and then back into yesterday's value up at the 41.14 level. If it does break the range and we get a strong opening drive lower that does break the Globex low and does break this previous day's low, the target's going to be down here in these single prints. We do have a VPOC right here where we could see some buyers, some responsive buyers showing up back inside value, but that'll be yet to be seen. If we don't open up on a gap, right, we'll have to be watching this low, and right now we're kind of coming back up into that gap. All honesty, I'm in a long right now from 40.91, so I'm going to try to keep riding this up until the market opens. We'll look to see, we do have this point of control here, and if we were to kind of combine these together, you can see where most of the value's at up here at around 40.10. Remember 41.10 was a big level that we talked about yesterday, and that kind of seems like an area now that we're below it might act as a bit of resistance. Does look like we're getting some short covering here early on to try to correct this overnight push to the low side. And I think a lot of this, kind of was caused by this geopolitical issue that's going on right now with the possible visit from Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. Peter, good morning. Giles, good morning. Roach, good morning. Dad, good morning. So that could be definitely something that we want to be paying attention to, or definitely keep our ear to the ground and looking out for, because that is caused by this definitely gonna affect the market for the most part. We do have the JOLTS job report coming out at 10 a.m., which is 30 minutes after the market opens, and that could, cause some movement in the market as well. Just posting the links real quick. Okay. And if we take a little bit wider look here, and I kind of posted this in the trade view, we do have trap shorts still, from back in July, right? And we do have this balance area down here. We're starting to develop a little bit of balance up here. So, a break of these, break of this VPOC and really back down into these single prints. If we don't just see a bunch of short covering and responsive buying down here, they're going to target these previous single prints in this previous balance high area. So that'll be key to pay attention to. And also, if this does break down and responsive buyers do show up, we'll be looking at a look below and fail, and the initial target will, be the center, but the real target will be that top, that 41.44, where we put in that poor high yesterday. We do have some previous highs from before, and then if we look over here on the daily chart, and you can see I added a 100-day SMA just to get a little bit of in between here, just to see what the last 100 days were doing. But that target would be that 3-month high at that 76.75, the ultimate target to the upside there. This thing's just starting to cover all the way up already. Nice. Double R, good morning. And then above that, I really have been watching this 4,300 level for a good amount of time ever since we've traded below it. And then we do have that 200 SMA, the magic 200 SMA at 41.31, sitting at 41.31 today. So that'll be something definitely just to pay attention to, right? As we know, it's a very psychological thing. A lot of people do trade technical analysis, and they do trade that, um, you know, moving averages and things like that. So to just not pay attention to it at all, it just seems kind of, uh, like a waste of time. Um, where is my watch list at? Hmm. Did it get closed? Oh, no, there it is. All right, so let's take a look around the block real quick. We can see Apple is starting to trade back up after trading lower. AMD is pretty much holding. Amazon starting to trade back up. Google starting to trade back up a bit here. Meta just kind of hanging out. Microsoft hanging out lower. Looks like it's on a gap down from the close from yesterday. Netflix also on a gap down. Tesla not on a gap down, but looks like it probably is going to open up close to a gap. And then the VIX is actually up about 5%, opening on a gap up. Some volatility, some fear kind of running back into the market here. So interesting. Morning, Trin. And it looks like we've got about 15 minutes until the market opens. So coming back up to the open from yesterday, and we're back inside yesterday's range, right? And so as we know, if this market is going to continue lower, we're going to have to find sellers that are willing to initiate below yesterday's value. Even, technically initiative selling is below yesterday's range. But I kind of classify it below the value. So if they are going to show up, this is going to be an area that they're going to have to show up. I think if we establish above this 5 here, above yesterday's excess, that target's going to be the settle. And then if we're able to hold above the settle, if we don't get a reaction off this point of control around 41.29, they will target this previous high here, the poor high from yesterday. But like every day, we want to stay as objective as possible and not get biased. I am kind of just thinking that yesterday's little push down and retracement was really kind of pushed in by that geopolitical news. We do have that JOLTS job report at 10 a.m. So that could be a market mover, as it's expected to be a little bit lower. Uncle Stacy, thank you for the like on the stream. Kevin, good morning. And in order for some downside to happen, we're really gonna have to see some participation overall from sellers, right? Yesterday, even on the retracement down, once it did get back down below that 41.10, it didn't get much follow through, and it checked below the open, found buyers once again. That J period kind of came right down to the open, so that seemed like a little bit of a mechanical level. And we do have a couple mechanical levels on the way up. If we take a peek at the profile here, this L high is pretty much one tick below this H high, and this H high is right at the G half back. So this seemed like a mechanical spot where basically, buyers had just kind of given up, and they had decided they couldn't find initiated buying needed to continue trending to the upside. And so they just kind of went home for the day, started liquidating. Sellers didn't find anything that they needed to find. And then the market became mechanical and rotational for the rest of the day. Oops. I don't know what happened. Will Cosby, good morning, man. It's been a while. How you doing? Remember, we do have some earnings going on today. Also, let me see, where do we got? Earnings today before the open were Uber, so we could take a peek at some of these before we get started here. We still got a little bit of time. Uber, like they had some decent earnings, maybe. Kind of looks like a minus, but they're bumping up off of that. Caterpillar also had earnings today. They're getting smacked down. Ferrari, it's not really a big mover. Marriott, not sure what there it is. Marriott's gonna be opening up on a gap, so they must have had some decent earnings. It looks like they did. JetBlue. JetBlue is opening down. They're getting smacked down pretty hard. What other airlines do we have coming up this week, if any? I don't really see any. And then aftermarket, we have AMD, PayPal, SoFi, Airbnb, Starbucks. So those are going to be some big ones if you're looking for some decent plays on some options. I think AMD could be a big one.
I'm on it.
Patrick, good morning. Jason, good morning. Doing well. Good to hear, Will. Good to hear. Four. All right, let's go ahead and get some Reveille, get motivated, get this day started. All right. Now I'm ready. I'm motivated. Remember, there's still opportunity for the market to open up on a gap here. So you still want to be making sure, or at least understanding that that's a possibility, and that could be an open out of balance. And that's typically can make the market a little bit more volatile. Morning, Brad. Been a while since I popped in. You still using NinjaTrader on a different platform now? I'm actually using Sierra charts. I still have NinjaTrader. It's just that NinjaTrader was kind of bogging down my system, and especially since I'm on Wi-Fi right now, well, because I'm in transition, I'm moving into a house. Should be in the house August 12th, so in about 10 days, right? Fingers crossed if everything goes well with the appraisal, should be good to go. And I'll be back to a hardline connection. But until then, and I'm probably won't gonna I'm probably not gonna switch back to NinjaTrader. I've come accustomed to Sierra charts, and after it does have a difficult learning curve, but after powering through and learning it, I actually enjoy it a lot. So but I've got nothing against NinjaTrader. I still know a lot about NinjaTrader, so if you guys are on NinjaTrader, don't be afraid to shoot me a message and ask. How you doing, chum? Morning, Cryptic. And then one of our members, TJ, put out a video last night on his channel. Let me pull it up. We've got some time, anyways. Um, I'll post this in the chat. But basically, TJ posted how he has been documenting his trades. Right, this is TJ, one of the members. But he put a template and everything. He linked this channel, and then he has his Twitter. So head over there, give him a like, give him a subscribe, click the bell. Right, um, you know, we always want to support our community members, especially he's putting out this he's putting out I mean, this thing is great. I really do like it. And for those of you guys that aren't documenting your trades, it's really cool to see somebody that is documenting their trades and has become consistent and successful, and showing that showing how the powerfulness, or the power, how powerful documenting your trades can be. So head over there and give him a like and watch the video. It's not very long, 10 minutes long, so worth every minute. Do you know if you can sell the NinjaTrader license? I'm not sure, Jason. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Five minutes until the market opens. This is that time where you want to be really confirming your zones, or really kind of making sure your trade plan is solid. Do what you need to do. Do a little bit of meditation. Do something to get you ready for the trading day. And remember, we're, as of right now, opening up in balance, so the market could be a bit choppy early on. Like I said, I'm looking for my first trade today. Well, actually, I'm in a long right now, but I'm probably going to close it before the market opens. But the first trade that I'm looking for today is, I'm looking for some selling initially off the open that doesn't take the Globex low. I'll be looking to try to get long there, and I'll be targeting back into the range of the day, yesterday's range, and then that value area low at that 41.14 level. That would be the first trade I was looking for. If there is an opening drive that does take us lower, that gets below yesterday's low and is able to take this Globex low, I'll be targeting this 40.74 here. So if we take that Globex low, that first target's going to be 81, right? Really, really close target. But that'll just let me know if we don't take that T2 low, then we're going to want to jump out of the trade quickly. But if we do take it, then that target becomes that 74 here. And then we do have some single prints below where we could expect to see some shorts that are traps start to cover and maybe get some rotation down here. Remember, we are in a balance higher. We had this excess, breakout, excess, and then a breakout, and the market seems to be balancing higher. It makes sense to me that the market wants to balance before it goes to break, some of these upper levels, and before the market decides, especially with some geopolitical issues that are kind of going on right now, with Nancy Pelosi trying to, fucking crash the market because he's like, I'm going to Taiwan. I don't give a fuck what happens. Which, it's kind of shitty, it feels like, but what can you do? And then remember, 30 minutes after the market opens, we have that JOLTS job report, and then we also have Fed Evans, I think, is on today. Pop, good morning. How you doing? Yeah, the best way to look for that, Jason, would just be to shoot a message out to Ninja Trader Online. Their support typically, they'll get back to you before the end of the day. Doing fantastic. Good to hear. Good to hear. Morning, Tommy. Dollar's kind of popping up today as well, too. That's something to pay attention to. Bonds are basically flat. Oil's up a little bit. Here we go. So here's the open. Let's see what we get. Initial auction is actually to the upside, back to the open. So no real strength yet. We opened up in balance. Market's a little bit choppy. We can see the breath has started off red. See that low, a little bit of buying off that Globex point of control here. Still just kind of heading back and forth here. Nothing really too definitive yet, at least not that I'm seeing. AMD gave a P count right off the bat, so it should get into a P for the day. So getting short before earnings, that makes sense. Couple sellers trying to get heavy down here. There they go. Bought a put. Little short covering, weak spot on the profile, 450. So sellers got heavy at that low, but couldn't make any progression down there, right? So they got kind of heavy down here. Couldn't even get past the T2 or the yesterday's low, and then we traded right back up above the open, looking for some volume to come in to get continuation here. A little bit of backfilling here up above the open. There it goes. Let's see if it's going to hold here. Going back down towards the open, just kind of backfilling this area. A little bit of volatility coming in right off the open. All puts is 34 to 118, so the puts are climbing up there pretty fast. Apple's coming up here a little bit. Or we still got some sellers trapped down here at the 4,000 or the 4,100, I mean, excuse me. Sellers trying to offer this 550 here, but just not having much success. Apple's trying to come up here. Yeah, our breath has flipped back to green on the NASDAQ, still red. Kind of a mixed bag overall here. If they're able to get accepted here, you know, they tested down into yesterday's excess, didn't get any follow through. We did get some sellers trapped down there at the 4,100. Unless they're able to get back down there, their target here on the upside is that value area low. That's at 41.14 or 41.13 half, I think. Puts is climbing pretty fast. Starting to get a push back here, back to the open. Back and forth across the open. So still, you know, some indecision here from both sides, it looks like. Sellers trying to get heavy right here at the 4, right at the open. Liquidation there. Remember, we still have this seller trapped down here at the 00, so look to see what happens when we trade back down here. Still stuck. And it looked like some buyers kind of stepped up down here. Let's see if these they go for any follow through, or if we still get some offers moving down. There they go. They're able to get it. So watch this prior day low. That's at the 97. Got a weak spot on the profile, 99.75, where these buyers got liquidated at. It's right down to the 97 and bounces. That's mechanical low there. Fairly strong response, though, off of that low. Right back to the 4,100 where that offer was at, and then it trades above it. So these sellers need to step down and start initiating lower below yesterday's value in order to get this continuation here to the downside. But they're just not doing a great job, right? It doesn't look like these sellers are really out in force. But it doesn't look like the buyers are really out in force either. Just real choppy to start the day. Apple's coming back down to its open here. Call puts now 51.95, so it's slowed up a little bit. Watch this 03. This is that weak spot where these buyers got liquidated after buying the open. So a trade above that could cause a trade back up, you know, probably, where was that offer at? Around like the 850? What's this level? Yeah, like 8. See our weighted sectors, our weighted AD is actually down here below the 0 level, so that's actually supporting the downside here. Watching this prior day low. Remember, this A low is mechanical. Those are buying just right off that prior day's low. Look at the sectors here. We're starting to see a lot of them turn to the red side as we get below that prior day low. Offers on the 01 here. Dipping back in the put favor, 48,123. You can see the breadth starting to pick up, and look at this advanced decline is slipping down to negative 285 here. The bold sitting, kind of just doing nothing. Apple's just kind of bouncing around. It's open here. We take a little peek around the block. We're looking at Apple's down 0.67. Amazon is flat. AMD's down 0.23. Google's down 0.27. Meta's down 0.17. Microsoft almost down a full percent. Netflix is flat. Tesla is down 0.82. The VIX is up 5%, but it's right at 24, it looks like. So another failure to hold us below the prior day's low. So there's probably some short covering going on below the prior day's low, along with some responsive buying down there. Trade back above the open, I think, probably takes us back up to the 8 here. Seems like 8 or 850 is kind of where that offer was at. Netflix just flipped green. Amazon flipped green. Ooh, Amazon's gassing right now. This could flip the market here. Let's see, the unweighted sectors are leading the downside here. But we'll see. Information technology still just barely hanging on to green. Consumer discretionary and communication services. Still got the NASDAQ breadth pretty, really just kind of undefined, right? No real decisiveness. No like 2 to 1, not even 2 to 1, and really for some downside, I'd like to see like some 3 to 1. Really see some selling, but we're just not really seeing it yet. Google's flipped to green, Meta's flipped to green, Netflix is flipped to green, Tesla's trying to flip green. Gold is actually almost at 1800 again. It's been a while. Bonds are barely up here. Go back up to the 01. This is where all that volume is at. The point of controls we can see. Overnight point of controls right around the same spot. Netflix is starting to gas too. Netflix put in a poor high yesterday. We'll see if it's able to break it. What's up, buddy? I don't care. Why? Yeah, just try not to be so loud. Okay. Remember, we got the JOLTS job report here in 20 minutes or 19 minutes, so just be careful here. Top of this open, so they tried to reoffer that 01. Look at all the volume that came in on the 01. We're now above it. So above the open, I think we start to see some short covering, and that probably takes us back up to the 8. If we get buyers, to meet the offers up there, then the market will probably look to trade a little bit higher here. Not able to get above the open yet there. Tesla just trying to go green right here as well. Trying to get back over that 900 level. So this 01 back below it where all the volume's at. So they got above. They were actually able to hold the open. Trading back down. See if they can get it back below yesterday's low. AMD actually flipped to green. It's starting to gas. They put in a poor high yesterday as well. Let's go ahead and watch that. Apple's still way below yesterday's high comparatively to a lot of these other guys. See the weighted sector starting to catch up here. Well, let's see if they start to give it some gas. $435 contracts trade on that low tick here. These shorts need to start getting aggressive and selling. They need to find initiating shorts that are willing to sell below yesterday's range. You just saw information technology flip over. Apple's starting to move down. Google's back to red. Meta's back to red. Netflix flipped red. So Netflix had a big turn there. Back below yesterday's low. Up for the day, but still down. Microsoft just hit 1% down. The VIX is up at 24. Tesla's back to flat. Yeah, Microsoft is getting crushed here a little bit. Just broke up below that Globex low, Microsoft did. Market just struggling every time it gets below that yesterday's low, right? Just starts to cover shorts and then starts to pop up. That's kind of making me think that, you know, it's a little bit weak. And look at the tempo, picks right up and just pops right up to that 01, which is where the volume has been at. But let's see if they can pop the open this time. The selling on the open kind of looked mechanical last time. If they pop the open, like I said, I think the target is probably the 8, which is where that seller seemed to be at early on in the session here. About 15 minutes until this bar closes and we get that JOLTS job report. So there's a pop of the open. Remember, offers up at the 8. Volume coming in. So offer still sitting on the 8. Let's see if they hold the 8 or if they give it up. They're still trying to offer. It looks like they're moving down even. They're trying to offer this 7 now. So they hold that 8 so far. Not bad. AMD just hit the gas. It's up pretty hard for the last candle. Yeah, AMD jumped up. It's up at 0.7. Yeah, that was a big move. Looking to break up, still, I mean, still in its range from yesterday, but yeah, definitely making some moves. We're starting to see the weighted sectors flip to green here. Information technologies flip back to green. Consumer discretionary, and the breadth still telling us that not really much is going on. We are seeing some volume pour in here above the open, but we're not getting any continuation yet. And like I said, I think that 8 is where the real offer was at, and they were actually able to move down and hold it below the 8. So they held that 7, which shows a little bit of strength for these sellers so far. Weekly VWAP is up at 41.18 as well. I was gonna labeling that. There we go. It's at 41.19. Tesla's rocketing. Yeah, Tesla's trying to break out as well. Tesla's trying to get back up and hold above that 900, but not able to. So here we go. The sellers were able to gather some inventory up there. Now they're looking to press down below this low again. So let's see if they actually hold. Weak spot on the profile. Buyers got liquidated right there again. 175 from the buyers that bought above the open. Now we're starting to see short covering come in here once again below the open inside yesterday's excess. Sellers moving down. Volume coming down. Offer move down to that 98.75. Let's see if they can hold it below this and break that low from yesterday. See all the volume moving down here. AMD coming down here a bit too. Amazon still holding fairly strong up there above that 136, and you can see that negative gamma level at 136. So they sold some puts at the 136, and now they're having to buy some Amazon shares, it looks like, and that's kind of what's moving Amazon to the upside. And we're starting to see the weighted sectors get less and less to the sell side here. So we keep just kind of, tight range early on. Market could just be awaiting this jobs report to really kind of decide which way it wants to really break here. So they go back down to the low. They break the low. Let's look for some initiated selling down here. Remember that offers on the 98.75. Amazon leading the day here. We've got Apple's red, almost down a full percent, down 0.75. Google's down 0.3. Meta's down 0.6. Microsoft down 1.4. Offer still down here. Looks like we're starting to find some initiated selling here at the low of yesterday. Let's see if they can hold it. They've just broken below that yesterday's low again. Let's see if they can hold it back down below here. Apple's starting really to turn off the buying and starting to come down after making a pretty significant move back down to its open. Looks like buyers are starting to get scared and this thing might give the drop. There it goes. So sellers moved in on that 95 this time. Now let's see if we can get that continuation, right? If these sellers don't break this Globex low on this drive down, that's kind of where I'm looking to get long. But if they do break the Globex low, I want to see them hold below it and then target that 73. So there's kind of two trade opportunities setting up for me here. If you're patient enough to wait for them to come, these sellers need to hold below 95 here. Failure to hold below 95 is weak. What I'm looking at for individual stocks is just this. I have like this little watch list that I made that has like all the top names that I look at and then all the sectors and stuff. No trade for you, Jason? Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Apple's breaking down below its open. Starting to see the weighted sectors really turn red here too. Catching up. Information technologies flipped back to red. The breadth still hasn't picked up too much as far as NYSE goes, but we'll see. 5 minutes until the next period opens up and we got that new that jobs report coming out. Offers moving down, still sitting on that 95. A bit of short covering coming in here. If sellers don't hold below this 95, I kind of expect a little bit of a pop up from there. You can see how weak the profile is at this 95. Got to see that weighted script in action. I assume you got that from Shadow Trader also. Yeah, I did. I got it from Shadow Trader. Apple's really battling over its open. Amazon coming back down. AMD's back to red, really kind of picking up some steam here on this low. Watch this 95. If they don't hold the 95, watch that 97. That's where you're going to need to find initiated sellers willing to move down and kind of backfill this area if they want to continue this downside here. A little bit of selling off the prior day's low. That's a little bit mechanical to me. Got the incoming JOLTS report here in 2 minutes almost, so just be careful. So unable to hold that low once again. We're back inside the previous day's range. Pretty big move. Let's see if they pop the open. It's a bunch of short covering is what it looks like there. Not really a ton of volume coming in, just shorts just tried and couldn't break that Globex low. So hopefully you guys are all ready for that one. $4,100 bidding or getting offered here. This JOLTS job report could be a decent sized mover with, they're looking for slowing in the economy, so it could just be confirmation. But they don't want to see a huge slowdown. They just want to see a natural slowdown. Choppy trades. Yeah, it is a pretty choppy start. It's really back and forth so far. I just did a little fade off the 41.91.75 and 40.90. Or 40.91.75 and 40.90. I took 2 lots. Still showing favor to the put side. Yeah, Apple's getting a little bit of gas here. Meta's flipped back to green. Netflix flipped back to green. So we're seeing a lot of these names just kind of flip-flop today. AMD's actually flipped back to green. Amazon's back to green. Tesla still gassing, pulling back a little bit after hitting that 900. The VIX is actually climbing a little bit. It's up 6%. Here goes B period. Waiting for these job reports or the JOLTS. SPAR 19 carrying Nancy Pelosi entered Taiwan's air defense zone. JOLTS job reports actual 10.698. Forecast is 11, so it was a miss by a little bit. Let's see if we get a reaction off of that. Offer still moving down here. Here we go, back below that yesterday's low here. Offers coming in. Really back and forth here. A B low or B high, excuse me, kind of looks a little bit mechanical right off the half back of the profile, and the VPOC is right there too, so could just be some laggard sellers being brave selling that. Offers coming down here on the 95 again. Little flip-flop back and forth. Apple's coming back down. AMD's coming back down. Amazon, Meta's back to red. Netflix is still green. Tesla's still green. So still hanging on a little bit here. Jesus Christ, what's going on up there? Offer coming down. There they go. So they are able to hold that 95, right? This 95 is a big level so far. They've been fighting over this 95 for a while now. Weighted sector starting to pick up. You see information technology flip back to green. You're finally seeing the breadth almost 1.5 to 1 here on the downside. Not really signifying that we're going to get some crazy downside, just signifying that there is some a little bit more selling coming in. Back to the 95. Let's see if sellers hold this 95. They pop this, look for them to trade back up to the open at 375. Yeah, really muted trading so far in the session. Not really any conviction from either side here. So they hold that 95 on the buy side this time, so look for them to trade above that 4100. That is where there's been another kind of battleground at that 4100. And that happens to be like right at half back, which is kind of right where the B highs seem to be sold off of, was that current half back, kind of leading me to believe that these are mechanical sellers here. Let me take a peek at the volume as well. I forgot to take a peek at it. It's not it. What am I doing? I'm checking my email. So 24% more volume than yesterday, right? Yesterday was a relatively low volume day anyways, but still 24% more. So back to that 95. This is where sellers were showing up here trying to offer. And it still looks like they're ready to sell this 95. So as long as it's below 95, it looks like sellers are willing to sell. And then above 95, they get a little bit scared and just wait for price to come back down. So let's see if they can get some continuation this time. They're looking to try to take that A low here. And so far, we've got value lower compared to yesterday. Back above the 95. Really just no conviction. They sell the 95 and then cover as soon as they get into a little bit of green there. Watch the 4100 if this thing pops. We're back inside right at that previous day's low, the 97. So mechanical selling off the previous day's low there. Watch the 4100 here. That seems kind of like the target here on the upside. That's where that offer was at earlier. It's still sitting there. 169 lots, 170 lots. No real big traders out to play today, it seems. They pop the 4100, their target's going to be the open. That's going to be that 4103.75 here. Offer still moves down to cover that 4100. Back down below the 95. They're waiting. Yeah, they sure are. They're waiting. I mean, you can see the volume is coming down lower for sure. And they're, haven't been able to break, but it's just not getting that, initiating selling yet that they need to break this A low. And really, they're looking to try to take that or low that from Globex as well. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The big players are waiting. We're not getting any initiated selling, right? There's no initiated selling. These are all just like local traders, just kind of mechanically trading the market. So it's just a matter of who gets trapped to see if we get any actual movement today, or if we're just going to keep getting a bounce around. Bet Evans is on right now too, but I don't see the stream for him. Weak spot on the profile here, 91.75. So you're starting to see some longs liquidate. There goes the A low. Let's see if they can break this Globex low. 12 contracts traded on the low. It doesn't look great. Volume still coming down on the 88. There they go. So there's some liquidation from these buyers. Still volume coming in. There's the Globex low. Ooh, big response right there. See if these sellers respond and push us back below that Globex low. China closes all civilian, all airspace above, or to all civilian aircraft above Taiwan. Does Nancy count as a civilian? Could see Apple turning down there. Didn't break its Globex low though, like the ES did. You're seeing a bit of a response here too. Watch the 95. If this thing pops up above that 95, it could get a little bit juicy to the upside. It's been the big offer area, this 95 and then that 4100. You're so slow moving your target. Gotta get those hotkeys on, my man. Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh shit, we're getting invaded by fucking bots. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of all this shit. Back down here, 4086, some volume coming in. All right, they're deleted. DJ, hearing that Pelosi lands in Taiwan in 30 minutes, being escorted by fighter jets, that is fucking insane. Saying that, like, what's the big deal? What does she need to go to Taiwan for if it's going to cause a big issue? So they're able to get back below that T2 low, but just barely, and then responsive buying or short covering just right below that level.
I mean, they have to know how serious that is. That she's going over there. I mean, China literally threatened to shoot her down. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and the
unreal.
United States response was just like, not my job, not my problem. Like, just fucking, they're like, shoot the bitch down, who cares? Like they didn't, they were like, do what you want to do, see what happens, kind of.
Oh yeah, Ro Khan literally said we should call their bluff. Like
Yeah,
what?
a lot of people are saying that too.
It would be like the third in line in China going to Texas or California and selling them arms and saying we want you to succeed. We would lose our shit. You know. I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, why heat up water that's already boiling? You know what
And
I
what
mean?
really? What is she? She invites some ice cream.
You have a system for bracket orders. Actually, stop seems to be in the right spot. I mean, target, shoot, I forgot I was only set to one MES slot. Forgot to change it to 5 lots. Oh, you're trading 5 lots on the MES? So watch this 95. We just kind of popped that 95 and then sold back down. So some more mechanical selling. Yeah, those bots, they tried to invade us. The best adult dating website ever. Thought I deleted them though. Move. Yeah, especially since China was telling them not to come or it would be a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I did take the trade, yes. Yes, I did. I think she has technology interests in Taiwan and they're large chip producers. I'm assuming she's invested somewhere in that woodpile. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a fact for sure. For sure. AMD's on a tear, but people like it. People are like, yeah, go Nancy. Fuck China, right? Bunch of psychopaths.
Like how can China tell us, if we can go to Taiwan? It's like because they own it. I mean,
They,
it's like
yeah,
of
they
course they
can't.
can tell. I mean,
Well, they can't really. That's the thing. And we kind of have a pact. We not kind of. We do have a pact with Taiwan, and so does South Korea, and so does Japan. They're all local interests. So that's kind of, this is kind of us. I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, we know that it's going to cause an issue, but also if we don't go, it's going to show weakness, and that's not something that America is interested in doing either.
how does it
So
should be so? I mean, they control Taiwan, so I don't know
they
how's that
don't.
weakness though.
Yeah, but we don't believe in communism, and we don't
Well,
negotiate with them.
I thought we agreed to that Taiwan was gonna be part of China. Like it's our agreement with them.
No,
No,
no. I think that we agreed that they control like the airspace and things like that, but they don't. We have a pact with Taiwan. Let me Google that shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Uh, It's the number one thing Google
right,
right
but
now. The Sino-American Mutual Defense Treaty, formerly Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States of America and the Republic of China, was a defense pact signed between the United States and the Republic of China / Taiwan, effective from 1955 to 1980. So that's old. I think it's kind of more like a Hong Kong thing, right? Remember when Hong Kong was trying to like tell China like, yo, you're not our boss, and Hong Kong was like, fucking bet your ass I am. And America's like, no, we stand with Hong Kong. It's kind of like that same situation. And you saw Biden kind of flex yesterday that they killed some terrorist recently. Man, I'm looking to scalp that TT low and thought of setting a order at 82, but wanted to see how he responded when we hit. That was a quick one. Yeah, I had to mark it in on that one. Yeah. I got filled at 86. 86 quarter and 86.75. And then I covered at 96 before that T2 low, because it looks like we're still getting selling, still getting a little bit of selling here, trying to sell below this low, but it just seems mechanical, right? That B high looks mechanical as well. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to keep trading up. It's just that something just to pay attention to, right? Yeah. Just letting us know that the selling is probably local selling, so not really any big money selling. All this, yeah. Well, yesterday I deviated from my plan early on and missed out on a nice trade, and so today I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on today. Yeah, AMD is on a fucking tear. They're still not above that high from yesterday. Apple's still red. Apple's still down, pretty decent amount, but just climbing back above their open right now. Amazon's still green, but just barely. Google's red. Meta's red. Microsoft's down 1.6 here. You can see the weighted sectors are cooling off, but pretty much every time we've got this, right, these weighted sectors have cooled off a little bit. We've got some selling back in. Interesting that healthcare has flipped green. Consumer discretionary communication services is still holding, and then utilities here. So there pops the 97. Look for them to test this 4100 again. That's kind of their target, it seems like, here on this upside. This is where that offer was at before. Remember, we're back inside that previous day's range now. If they pop the open levels, the 8 and then the 14, 13, 14 level is the value area low from yesterday. Didn't know if the bottom was falling out. So when you get a huge move like that just retraces that quick, normally, that's kind of a telltale sign that there is that it was more of just a liquidation grab than anything. What? Take the dog. Jesus, shit just keeps picking up. U.S. Air Force authorizes open fire in cases of Chinese interference on plane carrying Pelosi. Damn. PD. All right, be right back, guys.
Reverse.
All right. Then talk about ranging 106 to 15, so the put call ratio is flipped pretty big here.
Is the 106 puts your calls?
Calls. Calls first and put second.
It's always C over P, mostly just because that's the way I programmed it, but
So the VWAP's right here, 96.5, which makes sense because we've spent so much time at this 95 area. 97 that previous day is low. The VPOC's up here at 98.5.
counts do seem to be trailing a bit though. AMD is actually hitting a dip, but the counts are still showing 88 to 11. So
And we haven't got, I mean, this
Did the,
weighted AD hasn't flipped to green, so their selling is still, stronger.
I missed the jobs numbers. What did it end up being?
It was a miss, but it didn't, I didn't really see much of a response initially off of it.
Okay.
It was, let me see, where was this at? So much fucking tweets about Pelosi, I can't even find it. It was 10.698 million. Previous was 11.303 million. So it was a decent miss, but nothing didn't seem like that's what was moving the market. Back to
Okay,
the
good.
95. If this thing starts to hang out above 95 for an extended period of time, I really think that this thing is probably just going to rally and take the high, just because we're below yesterday's low. And that's where those, you're given a chance to be an initiated seller or a responsive buyer below yesterday's range. And if all the volume is coming in right here and we're really not making any more headway to the downside, I mean, we did go lower, but no real significant follow through or volume, then you'll probably get a bunch of shorts that get forced to cover here up to the upside. And then, the inverse, if we keep putting in this volume on this 95 and start to develop value below it, and start to see some volume move down, then there's some opportunity for the downside. But as of right now, it's just kind of looking pathetic as far as initiated selling goes. Okay. Selling back off that half back again, and then an immediate response. We're back above the 95. Above this 97, I kind of expect some short covering. It's starting to get a little bit volatile here. About 2.5 minutes until the next period opens up. So we'll see. Really, I think a lot of people are probably hiding at that open. Saw a little bit of front running on the open the last time B came in. That offer was still sitting on the 02. Weak spot on the profile here, weak spot on this last offer up above at 97. So sellers getting short, local sellers getting short on the 95, and their stop loss was that 97, it looked like. Tesla's raging again. AMD's starting to rage to the upside. Amazon's back to green. Tesla's really going green here.
Matic is making a run.
If this is your first time in the channel, you know, go ahead and post in the chat and be like, hey, I'm new, I want to join the Discord, and we'll send you a Discord link. Only thing we ask is that you be positive and respectful, right? We have a community of like-minded individuals that are all here trying to learn and, you know, be successful. So we kind of expect and appreciate that as well. Yeah, Matic looks like it's trying to break up outside of this value as well. Watch for short covering above the open, guys. I think that there's probably a lot of people kind of hiding above this open here. Yeah, buddy. At 11? No, it's 10:30. I said have a snack. Okay. Just because you eat lunch early doesn't mean you get to get on your Switch, because you already ate lunch. Nice try, though. I do like that look at the rules, so. Yeah, BTC is pumping as well. So watch the open here. C period opens up right on the open, so that C low is a bit mechanical, so let's expect them to try to maybe test that low. If they don't, like I said, I think that target's going to be the A high, and then that value after the A high, well, really the 8's where that offer is at, but above that 8, the value area low is sitting at 14. So there's that test of the open. They hold so far. Clean it up. Now watch for it to get back above the open. If it gets back above the open with some gas, you can expect some continuation. They look like some absorption above the open, but if these sellers can't get busy below this open, this thing might just rage to the upside. So they're holding it below the open so far, but not really nothing crazy. A lot of that volume came in like right on the open too. We're selling on the open. Offer's been sitting on the 8 here. Remember, they moved down to the 7 earlier. Last time this thing was up here, they're still defending that. 7. Sellers got trapped on the open there. Literally 9 contracts got trapped on the open. Need to get back down there. Oh, there they go. Back to the open again.
I love it, Brad, when you tell me sellers are trapped and I'm not a seller. It's like, yeah, how do you like the ice, kid?
So they get to that 8 right on the tick pretty much, and then kind of see some responsive action there. I think we got one tick over that 8. BTC's pumping. NQ almost had a perfect bell curve rotational day. Fucking BTC. The moves on that. Garbage man must be coming. Today's garbage day, so if you hear Warden start barking crazy, that's because it's Tuesday. So back below the open, so they just kind of exhaust those stops there. Nothing really significant as far as, you know, follow through. That weekly view up still up there at the 16, coming down a little bit there. Oh shit, the fucking bots are back. I thought I banned these motherfuckers. Oh, what's going on here? Port them. Move them. No, you don't gotta be sorry for the language, bro. Alright, blocked them again. Must be getting some attention. Nancy Pelosi doesn't like her name in my title of my video. You shouldn't try to crash the market, so.
I hope she boards that plane in Taiwan.
What do you mean? She's over Taiwan right now.
Oh, dude. But is she actually going to go there? I wonder.
I mean, she's getting escorted by some jets.
I hope they shoot that shit down.
You just see that advanced decline line start to flip to green for the first time today, letting you know that there is some actual buyers possibly in the market with this push up. So that's actually a good sign. If you're able to or if you're thinking upside. Let's see if they can sustain it here. Really just battling back and forth on the open again. Remember, early cessation of one time framing just tells us that the market's going to be rotational. Like I said, I don't think unless we can stay below that 95, that these sellers are serious. I think that, you know, a lot of this buying down here was responsive buying at the 95, and then this was just kind of a bid pool to see if sellers were serious, and obviously they weren't. Started to see a bunch of short covering. Buyers showed back up at the 95 on a retest. And so we'll see as we're coming back down below the open now, if we get back down to this 95, if these buyers are still willing to buy. All right, Blake. Okay. Says that she lands in 15 minutes. Seven minutes she's expected to land. She gives no fucks. It's dope. Kind of badass. I mean, DJ, you said your wife was like, watch this, start some crazy junk, and she isn't even really on the plane. That would be funny too. I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Watch the 8 again here. Offer's still sitting on the 7 now. So offer was sitting on the 8 pretty heavy. We still haven't really got a break of the 8. Traded up to that 8 quarter. So they're still kind of holding this level up here and trading back inside value. So you see, value is still over or still lower here. Not even overlapping, still lower. Back and forth across the open again. It's crazy to think China's debating shooting down a U.S. official. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they want the smoke, to be honest with you. I kind of think that China has like a paper army. You know, I think kind of like you guys ever seen what's that movie with Seth Rogen and what's his face when they go to North Korea and everything's kind of like fake? That's kind of how I think it is. I'm gonna look for a live stream. There's supposed to be people on the floor when she's landing, so see what we can find here.
I think China's got a super strong military.
Nah, not
And
me.
shoot,
No, I think
really?
I mean, they have a big one. I just don't think
I was
they
gonna say,
have one that can sustain for a long period of time.
so
Check-
they're just not
they can go-
trained.
Well, everybody in China has to take 2 years of military
Yeah.
and their arms, 750 million reserves. And
Have you
they
ever
have to
seen
check
Keystone
that-
Cops?
Yeah,
Yes.
but you got to think about if they have the sustainability, right? So like if they have the oil, if they have the food, like all of these things that go into like fighting a sustained war, because if it is a war, like a world war, you've got to have you've got to
they can-
have
they
some
can-
longevity.
They can militarize all their factories. They have 300,000 factories.
Yeah, but that doesn't
mean-
they don't produce any, they import so much shit. They don't produce anything. And if people, and pretty much the world will be kind of forced to just make a decision between the US and China, and just off recent history, we've kind of seen what has happened, and so a lot of people will probably just say, I'm not going to touch this. And they'll just, they'll be like, sticky situation. I'm not going to touch it. And that means that they're not going to get a lot of imports, which they need to sustain. If they don't, if China fails to get imports, their sustainability really just starts to tank. Peter Zalan. They say this is Nancy's plane right here, maybe. Taipei. Yeah, they've got tons of manpower, but that manpower doesn't really get you anything when, what are you going to do with it if you can't sustain it? If you can't feed your troops, it's tough to fight on an empty stomach.
China has the largest food reserve in the world. They've been hoarding food for a couple of years now.
I don't believe
They've
that.
been buying. They've been buying rice from Iraq and Iran. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, North Korea also said that they were like the richest country in the world, and we saw what happened there. Watch this 8 here. They keep offering it. So the sellers
Whatever
are still sticking
happened-
on this 8.
Whatever happened with Guyana? Saying they're sitting on trillions in gold.
North Korea?
No, Guyana.
Guyana?
Yeah, haven't you seen that? The
f-
Guyana president was saying that.
What's
or
Guyana?
Ghana. Or,
Oh,
it's
Ghana.
a- Ghana, Guyana, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce
Oh
it.
my God.
But they were saying they're sitting on like trillions of gold, like more gold than what's in existence right now.
I remember
not really. They don't have to-
seeing an article about it, but I never followed up on it because I just thought it was bullshit. So there goes the 8. They trade right back below it. Watch this 8 level here. If buyers step up, this thing could, definitely take out that A low, and then the target's going to be that 14 here. $14 would be the value area low from yesterday. 14-ish. So there goes the buyers. Buyers stepping up here. Look at this. Let's turn the quality up for you guys so you can really see. America's bullish on going to Taiwan, apparently. Weak spot below here.
Story of my life right there, bro. I got out at the 08.
Well, I mean, it's not up that much difference. VWAP's at
Whenever I'm not.
41.16. Well, weekly VWAP's at 41.16. Guyana is different from Ghana. Story of my life to wash dishes instead of trade. I don't know what Guyana is. I never heard of it. Thomas said he's a geopolitical analyst. He got to Russian-Ukraine spot on. Taiwan has been prepping for the war for nearly a century. Oh shit, here she goes. Nancy's landing. America's bullish on Nancy Landon.
Guyana's where Jim Jones did his thing, right?
I have no idea.
Kill those people or whatever. I don't know.
See the breath on the NYSE's almost flipped back to green. Apple's breaking out above its pre-market high here. And pre-market high right here.
Is she in a military jet or like her own private jet or something?
She's in Air Force One or like Air Force something. Maybe Air Force Two.
Really? Huh.
Tesla's on the fucking sky. AMD's really catching a little bit of a bid, but not breaking out yet. Amazon's still trying to break out, looking like a P profile, like shorts got trapped here. But Tesla is starting to gas, and you'll be looking for Tesla to get up to that high of yesterday where it stalled out big time, or it could get over that 950 here. So volume coming up. We've got some weak spots right here. We've got about 15 minutes until the next period opens up, so we'll be paying attention to see if we end up opening on some single prints during this next period. Jim Jones was Guyana, Alex said.
That's where they drank the Kool-Aid.
So back inside the range, back to the 8 there. Let's see if buyer's willing to step up again. If not, you can kind of tell by the profile here, a fairly balanced profile for the most part, right? We've got excess on the downside, excess on the upside now. See if they can continue to step up here. They hold the 8 for now. That next target above, if they get acceptance inside yesterday's value, is going to be yesterday's point of control. We've got the VPOC basically right where the settle's at, but the TPOC is up 41.28 half. All of a sudden you see a missile. Shh. Be fucking nuts, huh? I told my kids they were I told my kids that they weren't allowed to play any Switch or computers or anything till after lunch. My son's been asking me if he can have lunch since about 10 o'clock. So kind of just waiting to see if these sellers get trapped here on this 13. Is that value area low? So we're seeing if we're gonna get some continuation here. Offer still moving down. Buying's not really holding up here. Watch the 8. All right, there's good odds for a rotational day today too. Let me see the volume real quick. Jason. 22% more volume still. We've got about 11 minutes or 10, yeah, 11 minutes left till that next period opens up. The clause and pause? I haven't since I've been here. It's so interesting watching you and Charles from Pirate Traders, different interpretations of what's going on. He thinks we have a higher probability of going up. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I've been saying, right? The same thing almost. It's just I've been saying it since we were at 86. Well, I mean, there is a chance to go rotational, of course, right? Because if we don't get accepted inside yesterday's value, or if we get a strong response, there's a decent chance of getting rotational. It's just that, this 95 area is where it kind of looked like responsive buying stepped up. What? So there's a response off the VWAP right there, 41.16. No, don't be sorry, man. No, I just want to make sure I'm not like putting off the wrong impression. Yeah, and I'm always looking at like every opportunity, because if not, if I don't stay objective, like I'll get myself in trouble, because I'm always looking to just take the market up. And so for the most part, and so I don't want to get if I get overly bullish, I'll start just fucking buying breakouts, and then I got to remember, okay, we haven't really been seeing a lot of good breakouts go lately, and so it could get me in a little bit of hot water. Oh yeah. Weighted ADs flipped big time green here. You see it just pinned at the top. Tesla's still green. Little peek around the block real quick before the next period opens up. We've got Apple trying to go back to green. I mean, green for the day, but trying to get back up to yesterday's close. AMD's up 1.43%, breaking out going into earnings. Amazon still trying to break out. Google, right? We've been waiting for Google to break out, and if we look at Google on the day time frame, right? I think if Google starts to participate in a breakout, we can really start to see some movement to the upside with the overall market. It looks like shorts are getting scared here and starting to cover. We've got Meta up 0.13, getting back above that put call line, and right. So if we get above this and they're short these puts, they're going to start buying the shares and start trying to trade up. Microsoft still down about 1%, still struggling. Netflix didn't bounce back. Netflix traded lower and didn't bounce back, and then Tesla's still climbing up, and then the VIX is starting to cool off a bit, as you can see here, as the market's starting to rally. All right, Globex highs at 24, so that'll be the next target up above this settle if we don't see some hardcore selling up here. Sellers are trapped on the 1850. Here comes the garbage truck. Gordon. There it goes. Gordon. So back above half back, looking to break up above the Globex high. There's that T-Pox at 28.5. That's the next move to the upside, or next target to the upside. And if there's not a reaction off of this point of control, then the target would be the other side of value, which would be 38, 37-ish. AMD is just on a rampage to the upside here too. Maya, let him outside. Just let him out. Let him. I don't know what it is about Orton, but he fucking hates a garbage
Get that
truck.
mailman.
It's a garbage man, but yeah, he just hates him. Wait, look at the sectors really flipping green here, and the breath is starting to pick up on the Nasdaq as well. Starting to get the decline up to 0 here. There she is. She's landed. Weak spot on the profile below is the 21, so let's see if they can offer this thing back down below the 21. We've got about 4 minutes until the next period opens up. Watch Biden walk out. What? Okay. Is the dog with you? Okay. So if we want to get C continued upside here, what we want to see is some backing and filling, right? So we want to see kind of what we saw yesterday. If you remember, on the way up, we had some strength showing. So we're starting to see a push into yesterday's value. When D period opens up, we'd like to see some volume come in and continue. If not, we'll know that these shorts are, I mean, we already know that those shorts down at 95 were trapped. I trapped them. Apple's flipped to green. Meta's flipped to green. Google's even flipped to green here. Microsoft's only down 1%. Tesla's green. So Netflix and Microsoft the only laggards here. All right, we're good. We're good off this. Weighted sector is pulling back a little bit here. Let's see how much of a pullback they get. A little bit of backing and filling here. Look at the volume profile where it's thin at, right here at this 18 level. We're just rotating back a little bit here, trying to search for a bid. We're able to clean up that overnight inventory completely, right? And the euro closes here in 2 minutes as well. So we kind of expect that pretty much everyone in the European session was short. That could have just been a rally from a bunch of short covering, especially because we haven't really got any continuation volume yet. Let's see if we can, get volume in D period and get continuation to the upside. If not, rotation it is. The Dow breath is negative 16. China's foreign ministry says Pelosi's visit severely impacts China-U.S. foundation, violates the Chinese territorial integrity. This severely impacts China-U.S. foundation. So here's D period. So we do have some single prints below here. And what do we know about single prints, right? We don't want to try to fight them. Let's let them trade and see if they fail to fill. If they fail to fill, that's a go with situation. I'd like to see D period come down to that 14 level where we got a lot of this volume on this upside. That was where a lot of that capitulation was from the overnight traders, and see some buyers step up in that area if we're going to get some continuation to the upside. A push back down below that 8, which we've seen be a big level today, would probably target that C low, honestly, but tough for me really to be getting short yet. Let's see if our weighted AD starts to roll over. Fuck, the bots are back again. What's going on today, man? I swear to God. Must be saying the wrong things on the stream today. Oh my God. They're everywhere. What's the deal here? What the fuck? God. Weekly VWAP's right here at the 16.5, so they're just kind of chilling on this weekly VWAP. Put this user in time. You guys could do me a huge favor, go ahead and smash that like button. We do have a Discord community. If you're interested in joining, just comment in the chat, say, hey, I want to join the Discord. I'll post the Discord link for you. It is free. A great community of like-minded individuals who are all trying to get back the most important thing in life, and that is most valuable and important, depending upon who you ask, time, right? What's up, buddy? Because I can hear them on Zoom. It's easier to have the earpods, so then I could stand up and stretch if I want. And they're called grad pods. Yeah, you can have lunch. Oops. Oh, damn it. I just lost the... Speaker Pelosi in statement, our congressional delegation's visit to Taiwan honors America's unwavering commitment to support Taiwan's vibrant democracy. So no shock there that they claim the democracy is that the reason that she had to go. because America is all about democracy, right? Supposedly. Apple flip green 79 to 2. A little bit of a pullback here. I mean, not really, I guess, a pullback, but really just kind of a cooling off session here. That offer came in around that 1750. A little bit of a liquidation here from the buyers at that 1575. So let's see how it acts down here at this 13.5, 14 level and see if buyers are willing to kind of step up in this weak volume area and continue to take this market higher.
Crazy spirit democracy when it's so horrible.
20%
Mob rule.
volume. I'm just letting it cool here. Let's watch this 14 to 13.5 and see if these buyers are going to step up. A little bit of short covering there on the 15, but not really anything special there. We're getting back below that weekly VWAP. Daily VWAP still down at the 4102 area, 4103. Take a peek at the heat map real quick. You can see Microsoft, Apple kind of lagging us behind, but there's some green going on here. Consumer staples is kind of struggling. Utilities is green. If energy starts to really come on board here, healthcare is already green. So Apple, looking for Apple and Microsoft to kind of flip green, take us higher. All right, so here's that 13.5. Let's see if these buyers are willing to step up. Offer still seems to be moving down so far. There they go. Big sell order on the 13, 125 lots. So no qual there yet. Market looking to close these singles. D high seems mechanical right there below that settle as well. We're still moving down a little bit here. We're back at this 1350, trying to see if buyers are going to decide to step up. Offer still moves down a little bit here, but if they start giving up this area, or if they're not able to make some progression and fill these single prints, you know, we could be good for some more upside continuation, and that target would be to settle here to repair this mechanical high. If they close the singles, man, probably a bit more rotation, but they just they're struggling. The tempo's getting a little bit slow. The volume's getting a little bit slow. To see if the offer moves down on this 14 again. If not, they'll probably cover back up to 17.5. And then really the target is that 20.50. Still selling a little bit there. Sellers trapped on the 12.50 here. That's what they need to get back down to. That's their push here. They're holding that 14 so far. They get back down below that 12.75, which is where they were trapped at. If they can get a little bit of supply and start pushing this thing back down. They're trying to close these singles. They're doing their darndest. I'm going to take a little 20 points today and run. Good luck. Try again tomorrow. All right, Jason. Good stuff. 20 points is nothing to scoff at. I'd say 20 points is a good day. So single prints are closed-ish. Right, I'm on 2-tick increments, so it looks like they're 1 tick shy of closing their 22 contracts trade on that low. They get back up above that 14.75. I think we'll start to see a bit more short covering. Offer move down to the 12 there, and it's not really making any progress. And now you got sellers trapped on the 11.75 here. Or that weekly view ups at the 16 quarter. No. Because you ate lunch early doesn't mean you watch your computer. I already told Curtis that. Yep. Oh, some offers moving down here on this 12.75 again. See if they can get any grip here. There they go. Still not able to get back down to that low tick where there's just 22 contracts on that low tick, that D low. Chinese military announces military exercises and training activities, including live fire drills in multiple areas around Taiwan between Thursday and Saturday. Just all around the island. Just fucking blowing shit up, probably. Pelosi in Washington Post opinion piece mentions China's actions in Hong Kong, Tibet, genocide against Uyghurs. I don't know how to say that word. The dollar's starting to tick up here a bit as well. Apple's coming down pretty decently. AMD is just kind of holding up at the highs. Amazon didn't break out like the rest of it. And we're starting to see our weighted sectors really start to cool off and become more balanced here. The singles are officially closed now. 166 contracts straight on that low. But no follow through from sellers. Watch that 14.5 level. Above that 14.5 is where I think that you'll probably start to see some of the weaker handed shorts get scared. That weekly VWAP's up there at 16 quarters still. That might be the next spot that they try to sell from. Mechanical sellers, right? Locals. Luis, what's up, man? Yeah, I moved. Yeah, I'm in Scranton. We're still waiting to close on our house. Hopefully we'll close on the 12th. So in about 10 days we should close on the house. As long as the VA appraiser goes well. He's being fucking lag fest.
That's good, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. How you been?
I've been good, man. You know, I like to take my little breaks and whatnot. I've been all right, just chilling. I went on vacation with the fam.
Nice.
Went to Hershey Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fun. The kids really liked it.
Yeah, we just
I
went
hope
up
everyone's
to
well
that
today.
Pleasant Point last weekend. Wasn't bad. Oh, Nancy just tweeted. Oops. He said, our visit is one of several congressional delegations to Taiwan and in no way contradicts longstanding United States policy guided by the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, U.S., China, and joint, whatever, at 6 assurances. And then she issued a full-on statement. People are being like, she's so brave. I love that. I love the the feminist movement. It's always every movement is always strong when it's in their favor, but then, you know, if you contradict it at all, everyone's like, well, fuck you, you're a hater, racist. Like, oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, she already landed and she didn't get shot down, so nothing really really too exciting. We did get the market to
So
rally.
she did go?
Yeah, she landed. Yeah, she already got off the plane and everything.
Well, it always gets escorted by Air Force. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, she had some fighter jets with her. Yeah.
Yeah. They try to say they're going to shoot him down.
Good luck. Yeah, and our fighter jets, mainly naval aviators, but they're uh probably the best in the world. Close tie with England. England has a really good air force.
Nobody's touching the U.S. Air Force, though.
Yeah, which is why I don't think China. They don't want to. It was just kind of like, yeah, fucking don't talk about it, be about it. Is kind of what Nancy basically did. Oh. Yeah. So still not able to break above that 1450 there. Still seeing some offers move down. Peter Reznicek just tweeted live pre-market session this morning with our options advisory members. He said, if your version of preparing for the open is a bagel and CNBC, don't watch this. Okay. Excuse me. So some volume came in lower here, but buyers were not able to hold it, right? And that's right at that value area low. So you got some sellers willing to move down to sell at that value area low from yesterday. Now let's see how far down they can take this auction here. The C count is dipping for AMD.
Well,
Angel-
they had C counts, so the very open was the P count, which is why it got into the put. And then it had C counts just smattered all in through there. And for the past, since 11 Eastern, it hasn't had one single C count. So my guess is either that it's cooled off or that it's getting ready to flip.
I mean, pretty balanced market so far. Fairly rotational still, right? CXS, BXS. The excess on both sides is kind of extreme, and it's kind of letting us know that, I mean, at least for me, I'm kind of thinking there's an other time frame trader on yesterday's point of control and another time frame buyer below yesterday's low, even below the T2 low, but mostly below that T2 low, and that 95 I think is going to be the flip zone. A C count is like a call count for my uncle's algo. He has an algo that he uses. I'll put 0 to 24 here. So puts are starting to pick up on AMD. Apple's coming back down.
That's
Apple.
actually overall.
Oh, it's overall? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's like, it's pretty low, which first of all, and then there's no C counts, which is kind of, that seems like it's just, again, it's just cooled off on everything.
So notice how the market came right down to the 8. right? Which was a big level earlier, and you found that buyer. So that buyer is still willing to be buying that 8. And that's you know, I think that's a local buyer, right? Shorter term frame buyer, kind of right off of the T2 point of control. So a mechanical low on D and a mechanical high on D as well. So we're in this 8 to 1450 range for the most part right now. Back into that volume cluster. Let's see if these sellers are willing to move down here. Doesn't look like it. Sellers look like they got trapped on that 8. 49 contracts traded on that low, all traded on the bid. Watch this 1450 level here. Weighted AD starting to pick up a little bit. Apple's still kind of struggling up here. Here's that 1450. Look for buyers to start filling this in up here. Starting to see some volume grow. Remember, targets that settle, mechanical D high. Yeah. Careful, Maya. Weekly VWAP right here, 16 quarter. That's going to be that next spot. You probably see some mechanical offering at. So if they can pop above that, they should be good for that settle here. There's the VWAP, a little bit of selling coming in here. Right on cue, mechanical sellers. What the fuck's happening here? Yeah, so no real conviction from these sellers on this weekly VWAP. So next target's gonna be that 20 quarter here. Let's see what they got. 20.5, excuse me. Settle. Starting to see our weighted AD pick up a little bit. Not really seeing Apple participate too much. AMD's just on the rise. Amazon still not breaking out. Google's basically sitting flat from where it closed at yesterday. Meta is green, still inside yesterday's range. Microsoft still down about 1%. Netflix down 0.89. So after that initial boost to the upside, it wasn't really able to get anything going. And then Tesla, chilling out a little bit here, but still up towards the high of the day. VIX is down a little bit here, 23.20. So above the weekly VWAP. E period opens up, not able to take D. So D finishes inside C period. E period still inside D period. So no real conviction yet. You can see a little bit of a liquidation there from the buyers as they weren't able to really push anything up. So this move down, remember that that D low, excuse me, is right on the 8, and that kind of seems mechanical. It's off of this previous point of control. And local buyers and sellers really trying to take control of the market. We get a break of that D period, we'll probably get a bit more rotation here. Now we've got value overlapping to lower for the most part. So no conviction on either side yet, and really just kind of letting us know that we want to be buying breaks and selling rallies for the most part as E period's coming down to this 8 to really see if these buyers are going to show some conviction. Still 49 contracts trade on that low tick of D period. There they go. They get a break of it. Little check below here. And as James was pointing out here, you're seeing value from Friday almost identical to value today here, right? Not as high, but almost identical. So we had 3 TPOs down here. We now have 3 TPOs, all the way. There's 4 here, and then 3 all the way up to here. So we are getting a little bit of developing value higher so far, unless E continues down and just kind of fills this all in, and we'll just have value right in the middle. What? A little bit of volume coming in down here at the 10. Some sellers trying to offer it down here. I don't know what it is about E period, but E period is just like the slowest period in the world, especially lately. Every E period just really just kind of, the market's just like, you know what, fuck it, it's lunchtime. Back at that 1450 level. So here's that VWAP again. VWAP sitting at 16.25. Market's just gone, you know, completely silent, radio silent for the most part. No one really willing to participate in anything here. Starting to get a little bit of volume again up at the highs. Back at that VWAP, getting above. Offer sitting at the 20 here. Really, that D high is still mechanical. E low, still mechanical too, right? They were kind of buying off that D low. One tick of excess is not really a great amount of excess. Value is definitely developing higher here. Just intraday, right? Not really total, but see if we can pop this high. If they're not able to run these stops in D, that's just going to show you the overall weakness of the market and how sad it's getting. So weak. Come on, let's go. Starting to see the weighted AD tick up here. Just so mechanical, pathetic. Only 11 contracts traded on that top tick of E so far. AMD just took the new daily high. Yeah, just getting bought up before earnings. Big time, damn. Are all the chip makers raging? For the most part. The other one called, what's that other?
MU.
Oh, it's MU. Okay. Yeah, they're just kind of chilling down. I mean, they're still on their highs, but they're still on a gap. Yeah, just super, super weak right here so far. They're not able to really just take those stops. That's just showing how mechanical this trading has become. No follow through by either side, right? They couldn't take the stops of the D low. They're not taking the stops on the D high yet. So really mechanical so far throughout this E period. And that's what we've been seeing, the past couple of days. I've been paying attention to E period. I've got it written down on my chart that E period is a slow period. It's kind of like the opposite of J period. J period normally is when it picks up. You can see the tick has been making higher lows for the most part all day. Still waiting for this advanced decline to break above yesterday's high, which was 22. You could see the volts back to positive as well. Oh, here we go. There they go. Get some stops in you. Nice. So weak spot, watch the impulse. That's at 20 quarter. They don't trade back down to that 20 quarter. They should be good to go here. Let's see if they can actually get some movement. Let's give a shout out for that stop run. Nine contracts traded on that high tick. As long as this volume keeps coming in here and stays above this 21, they should be good to go. You can see the bid flipped over here. They were selling the 20, now they're buying the 20. So next level up, if they're able to take that C high and continue getting this upside, is going to be that 28.5, and then value area high is about 37-ish, what it looks like. Yeah, about 37-ish. That flip was shorts covering, yep. It was. And so when you have two periods that are, trading inside, or I mean, in this case it was three, but typically when you have these periods and you're seeing these mechanical lows, and then we saw that mechanical high, it's really just a matter of time until one of them give up, right? We saw a lot of back and forth in here, right? We see where all the volume was at, so the odds change every time we get above or below where the volume is at, right? So volume shifted up, odds change to the upside. If we were below, odds change to the downside. Really, when we came down, we ticked one tick below and then came up and never really came back down below. Well, really the 1450 was the area that I had written down on my paper here, but that's kind of was my looking out. You could see the point of control was actually on 13. And then buyers are, really just looking to hold it above the settle now, and we'll see if they support the settle here, sitting on that 20 quarter. Energy's flipped green now. Only thing really lagging behind now is consumer staples. Apple's looking to get above its close from yesterday still. Amazon's green. Google's even green here now. Meta's green. Microsoft's still down about 1%. Netflix still down. Tesla's still on the rage. All right, Luis. Have a good day, man. Yeah, come in whenever, man. More than welcome. Love to have you. Why? What do you need? You have to sign in under So watch this 20 level. This was kind of the impulse level. See where these buyers are, gonna do a little bit of backfilling. If they don't step up here, then the rotation begins again. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. The market has just slowed down so much; it's like lulling me to sleep here. And if I sit here any longer, I'll probably end up making some bad decisions. I'm gonna get some lunch, probably hit the pool for a little bit, and then I'll be back on the computer. So if anyone has any questions, definitely hit me up in the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord and you're in the chat today, right? Like I said, just post something. Say, hey, I'd like to get that. I'd like to get that invite to the Discord. It's a free Discord. So the only thing I ask you be positive and respectful. And yeah, that's it pretty much. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, don't trade. If you don't know how to make a trade plan, just jump in the Discord and ask somebody. Somebody will be more than willing to help you out. For those of you guys that do not track your trades or don't have a way or haven't figured out a good system to keep your trades, check out TJ's video, the Swanson family, I hope I'm saying that right, on YouTube. He posted it yesterday. Really good video, really good document that he linked below that he's allowing everyone to use. Honestly, he probably could charge for it. It's so nice. So yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you tomorrow. See you, Pop. See you, Trin.
See you, bud. See
See you, Dan.
everybody.
See you, Dan.
Hey, Brad, you coming?
See you, Kevin.